Welcome, dear friends. Please note that this content is for educational purposes only. It does not constitute medical advice. Today, we will discuss circuit number 5, interoception, associated phenotypes and pharmacological strategies, emphasizing not just what we prescribe, but why we prescribe it, how it works at the molecular and systems level. Let us get straight into it. Interoception, involving the anterior insula and affective anterior cingulate cortex, governing how we perceive internal bodily states. We see two main presentations: somatic panic attack and somatic symptom disorder. So let's begin with phenotype 1, somatic panic attack, presenting with overwhelming physical sensations like a racing heart or breathlessness. This is treated with SSRIs or SNRIs first line. These agents reduce the amplification of visceral afferents in the insula by enhancing serotonergic and noradrenergic modulation of limbic autonomic integration. Benzodiazepines provide rapid rescue via GABA A potentiation, but use the lowest effective dose for the shortest duration to avoid dependence. Propranolol's peripheral beta blockade reduces cardiac awareness, while its central effects may dampen noradrenergic consolidation of panic memories. Moving on to phenotype 2, somatic symptom disorder, characterized by disproportionate distress over everyday physical sensations. This responds to SSRIs or SNRIs, which modulate the affective valuation of bodily signals in the anterior cingulate. Adding pregabalin can help if there is comorbid neuropathic pain or generalized anxiety via its alpha 2 delta mechanism, reducing calcium influx and neurotransmitter release. Low dose atypical antipsychotics like aripiprazole may be used as augmentation in severe or refractory cases, leveraging their partial agonism to stabilize dopamine and serotonin tone in salience processing regions, but always with careful risk-benefit discussion and metabolic monitoring. Baseline fasting glucose and lipids are essential, along with regular weight checks. Understanding these phenotypes and their mechanisms, this allows us to move beyond one-size-fits-all prescribing towards personalized, circuit-informed care. If you found this breakdown useful for your clinical practice or academic preparation, hit the like button and subscribe for more mechanism-based content. Drop a comment below with which phenotype you find most challenging to manage. Thank you for watching.